What's up, Knicks fans? What's up, Knicks fans? You are now. I am back, people. It's your boy Mizzle.
What's up, man?
Yo,
And I'm Royale.
Can I get a pen, man? You know what I'm saying? I was on a little bit of a hiatus. I haven't been holding it down. The boy Rem, shout out. Salute the Rem for holding it down. And Roy, you guys have been really informing the Knicks fans. You guys have been really holding it down. I've been in the building watching you guys, for the most part. I think there's only one show I didn't do that, but I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. We a team over here. We are a Knicks network, right?
Next man up.
That's right. Next man up. Rem, he was so tight about what happened last night with the draft. He was so disgusted that he was like, yo, I'm not, I'm just joking. Rem couldn't hold it down, so I had to come through and talk about these, the draft or the lack of drafting or what. I don't understand what I saw yesterday, really, Roy, but we're going to dive into it.
Yeah, it's a situation.
It's a situation for sure.
That's a nickname. That's what you call. That's what you can call our president, Leon the Situation.
He's
like
know.
the Jersey Shore guy. Leon the Situation.
That's a fact, Leon.
Doesn't say anything.
He
just puts us in spots.
Yeah, really. You just do your thing and you don't say nothing. You don't explain nothing. So this is what I'm here to try to explain. Roy here to try to explain what we saw last night, but we're just fans. We're just fans. So we're just giving you our thoughts, our feelings. And wait. Before we get ahead of ourselves, Roy, we did all of that. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, right? And hit that like button so we could get this Knicks content to more Knicks fans like yourself. All right, Roy, let's dive into it, man. We had the 11th pick, and then we traded it away to the Thunder. The Thunder actually traded us Sam Presti. He came up off some of those draft picks he's been hoarding for years. He has like 85 draft picks. He unloaded some of them to us. And some I don't know about those draft picks too much, but we're going to talk about them. And we made another 3-team deal involving the Pistons and Blazers. Let's dive into what the Knicks received. I'll tell the people what they received. You tell them what we sent. All right? It's right there for you to see. All right? The Knicks received Milwaukee's 2025 first-round pick, top 4 protected. Washington's 2023 first-round pick, top 14 protected. Basically, I don't even understand that. And Detroit's, it gets worse. And Detroit's 2023 first-round pick, top 18 protected. And we also got cap space with the move by sending Kemba away, which I guess you're going to let the people know here. Yes, we sent Kemba Walker away, and we were able to clear up some cap space.
Yep.
Tell them what else we sent.
We borrowed Jalen Durant.
Yeah.
And passed them on to the Pistons.
That's right, borrowed them.
Yeah, and we sent them the 11th pick for that draft along with Ousmane Dieng.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, it was almost.
What do you think?
6'10" wingman, does a little bit of everything. Yeah, he's got some potential.
Yeah,
it was kind of a funny troll. The fact that we don't know who we're getting, and next thing you know, they announce a French player, and he got the whole Garden treatment. He got to get booed for all 50 seconds that he was a Knicks.
Stay here.
They gave him theme music and all.
I know. They was booing. So I was like, man, the people stood up to boo. They stood up. They was like, oh, the Knicks fans is up in here because it was at the Barclays. Yeah. And they stood up. They was like, who they gonna draft? Okay. And then they booed more when they found out that we traded them. I heard the boos. I heard the boos when we found out that they traded them. The Knicks also sent 4 second-round draft picks. All right, so they're done with the second round. I don't know. I don't know what teams got those draft picks. To keep it very honest, I don't know who got what. It doesn't matter. They got it. It doesn't matter to us. You know what I mean? They're not ours anymore. So I didn't spend time trying to figure out which draft picks went where. And the Knicks also drafted Duke's Trevor KEELS, who averaged 12 points for Duke last year, 3.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists per game. Okay, we'll get into his stuff a little bit later. Um, and we also signed what's this guy name? We also signed Jean Montero out of the Dominican Republic. He is compared to Terry Rozier. People said he is considered to be the best player in the NBA Without Borders program, or one of the best players. What do you think about that? We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about
Westchester Knicks.
Westchester Knicks. I wanted Roy to do. So, all right. So that's pretty much what happened in the draft. We're just giving you the rundown of what happened, guys. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some reaction to it now. All right. So let's have some thoughts and reaction to. I think you just did by saying that they're Westchester Knicks. But let me dive into what's his name, Trevor KEELS. Play for a blue blood team. You know, I don't love Duke. You guys know I'm a Tar Heel fan for life. All right, and Duke is the devil and the enemy. Yes, I did use a pun on purpose. All right. But all jokes aside, he was coached by Coach K, came from a good system, came from a good school, good size. This kid is 6'4", 225 pounds. He is diesel, son. You know what I'm saying?
He's a wide body.
Yeah, he definitely is. I'll talk about his strengths real quick. He's tough. He's a good passer. He's a good passer. I'm going to put some stuff on there so you guys could check it out. Even though he averages 2.7 assists, he is a good passer. He penetrates well. He does really well in pick and roll. Pick and roll is his thing. It truly is. I saw so many highlights of him playing really, really well in the pick and roll. He finishes extremely well around the rim when he finishes around the rim. Now, that means, I know that's crazy, right? That just means that sometimes he has the tendency to take off further than he is supposed to. You know what I mean? And therefore, he cannot finish around the rim. Let's lead right into some of his weaknesses. He's not a big leaper. He's not a big leaper. He doesn't jump. Like, you're not going to see a lot of dunks from this guy, but you're going to see a lot of contorting of the body, getting hit, and finishing. Okay. All right? That's his kind of game, okay? That's why he reminds me a little bit of Marcus Smart. Stocky player. His defense is not Marcus Smart, guys. So I know you. First thing you think of is defense, but no, Marcus Smart, the way, especially this year, I see that he really improved with the way that he finishes around the rim, taking contact, hitting threes. That's another weakness of his. He takes about 5 a game, so he's going to take them. But he shoots it at 31% for now. You know what I mean? But similarly to Marcus Smart, I know I'm staying on Marcus Smart, and he doesn't have the defense of Marcus Smart. Once again, the lateral movement for quicker guards, he doesn't have it yet. But where was I? The finishing around the rim. Oh, yes, sorry. The three-point percentage. Marcus Smart, year by year, because he took a lot of threes, his three-point percentage got better. And we all know this. He didn't come into the NBA out of Oklahoma State, I think he came from, shooting threes. So that's why my comparison to Marcus Smart. He's Marcus Smart without the defense. And I know you're like, what? That's the best thing about Marcus Smart. You're like, what? I know. He's Marcus Smart.
He's an unfinished created player.
Yes.
Unfinished my player, basically.
Basically. And really quickly, like I said, you could compare what's his name, Jean Montero, to a scary Terry type of player. Like he could fill it up. He could fill it up. I saw some stuff. He could fill it up, and he has good court vision. Like he had a good number of 20-point, 10-assist games. Um, um, Wherever he played last year, I forget. That's why I kind of lost my thought. But there you have it. Thoughts on those two guys?
I didn't get a chance to look them up. Even the Jean Montero, that was news to me last minute. I was watching after the draft to see who are the undrafted guys that get picked up afterwards. I didn't find anything on the Knicks, but I'm looking. But from the sounds of it, Trevor KEELS, he sounds like a raw prospect. So he's going to need some development. They're probably going to keep him. They're probably going to keep him, on that practice team and send him, up and down from the G League. But I'm looking forward to seeing them in the summer league though, and seeing what these guys can do.
Yeah, absolutely. In the summer league, we'll see if these guys will stick, right? Because that's where they're going to make a name for themselves. If they are worthy of a roster spot, a New York Knicks, not Westchester Knicks, a roster spot, they will show us in the summer league, all right? And that's coming up soon, guys. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's not even waste any time. Let's react to all this stuff that we just broke down, all the trade. We didn't get the draft pick. I want to hear your thoughts, Roy. Your thoughts. You had some harsh thoughts in our chat yesterday. You had some harsh thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts after.
So I had a raw reaction. I guess this is the beauty of being able to kind of sleep on things. So at first it was. I guess what was hitting me was sort of the frustration, right, of just the overall situation we're in. The fact that I felt that the franchise has been building with. At times, you would say it's not enough urgency, but at times I felt like it's been too much urgency where I felt like we've been trying to build almost like we're a player away and relying very heavily on trades and such instead of, just finding a way to just – and free agency, which can be ineffective because players got to want to come here. Teams got to want what we have, and we know that can get tricky.
Absolutely.
So, also – I'm a hater. I'm an unprovoked hater. It's not of any team specifically for any specific reasons. Right. I'm more so the type of fan where, I'm with the Knicks, screw everybody else. So I hate looking at the draft and I see Houston, they get their trio. I see the Thunder, they get interesting looking players. Detroit just unexpectedly comes up with a nice little duo of rookies. Just all of these fans for that night just get to have fun. And, we're kind of just putting picks back in our pocket. And we go to this whole thing where I'm watching players get moved around from team to team for peanuts. And I'm like, why didn't we have anything for that? Right. Was the front office even looking in that direction? So that kind of hurts my, faith in the trade system anyway. But I will say, I initially felt like we should have drafted a player, but then I had time to think on it, and I look at the way the roster is constructed, and at first I definitely felt like, I'm mad at Tibbs. I do feel like he's holding this team hostage, because I hate the fact that when I say, we should build the players, the next thing that somebody will say was, okay, well, who from this draft do you think we can take that Tibbs will actually play?
Right.
And I always hate that response. Now, it's not because it's not a valid response. It's not because I necessarily disagree. I just hate that we're in that situation. I hate that it has to be that. While other teams, they're playing their youngins. Right. But then I had to think, okay, so you put any other coach in this situation, it's still kind of a tough task just with this team is structured, how this team is structured to figure out how you can move a new player into this roster, because there's so many guys in here that need their shot and no one's really consistent enough to decisively beat out the competition for this spot. Right. So it's tough. So you almost kind of have to just put that pick back in your pocket if it's not a player that can really change the franchise. So I'll say this. I'm not really too mad at what the front office did. I feel like for the situation we are in, they made the right move. I just hate the situation that we're in.
We're in. I love that. Roy, that was a detailed, good explanation of how most Knicks fans feel. Like you articulated that so wonderfully. And I have nothing. Listen, what he said.
We were going at it last night because
Yeah.
I was just frustrated, and that was my initial reaction was I hate all of this. I hate the moves. I hate the way I'm operating. But I had to think it makes sense, okay? Because when you look at it, let's say you're going after. I don't like the fact that I won't say I don't like Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is a good player. Now, what I'm thinking is I feel like there's a lot of mountains being moved, and I might be jumping ahead here, even talking about Jalen Brunson, but I feel like there's just a lot of mountains being
it's time to
moved,
talk about
and the name being put in front of me is Jalen Brunson as like the ultimate prize of this free agency.
Right.
It seems like a
For
bit
the
much.
Knicks, he would be the ultimate prize.
And it feels like a bit much for Jalen Brunson. These kind of feel like moves you would make for, let's say, a Bradley Beal or a DeAndre Ayton to free up spots from him. But when you're trying to sell me as this is for Jalen Brunson as the prize, I'm like,
I know. A lot of Knicks fans feel like that.
yeah,
like you,
and we're
like
it,
you, a
all
lot.
of and the picks given up, and you're talking about the protected picks and all of that, which I'm fine with the protected picks because I mean. Listen, you can find what picks did we have? I'm pretty sure if some of these convey, you're talking Washington top 14 pick in 2023, Detroit top 18 pick in 2023. If any of these picks convey, I mean, you can find somebody, a team that's definitely down to take a pick take a pick from 16, even pick 20. We were able to make something happen with pick 19. You know what I'm saying? The other year. So that's cool. So if there's no player on here that can really crack this roster and decisively beat out everybody, you might as well put the pick back in your pocket. And if you can get a few more picks at that and also free up some cap space, these are kind of things you should be doing anyway.
Absolutely.
And if Jalen Brunson happens to fall in your hands, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they made the moves that they should make.
Yeah.
I feel like that was what they should have did.
I agree. And yes, I want to piggyback on top of that by saying all of those moves they made to me was to get Jalen Brunson, right? They are all in. That's what the title is. The Knicks are all in, all right? It's Brunson or bust, okay? Last year, I had to hear a whole bunch of Knicks fans, even myself, want Lonzo Ball. Listen, Brunson just showed you in the playoffs being a number 2 to Luka. All right? Brunson, I had to watch. I was telling these guys, I had to watch him beat my Tar Heels. He's a 2-time national champion. I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people who don't watch college basketball. However, Brunson also went to Villanova, coached by Jay Wright. He is well coached. And they made all these moves to get Brunson. Now, if they strike out and don't get Brunson, this is when you guys could start saying disaster, all that. I saw Knicks Fan TV. He put draft disaster. I can't call it a disaster. I'm with Roy. I can't call it a disaster yet. When we don't get Brunson, if that happens, okay, it is truly a disaster. Or you don't get something that is. The thing about Brunson is, I know everybody's like, yo, we're going to pay. This guy's going to be the savior. Not the savior. A competent, more than competent point guard, which is something that we need. More than competent point guard. That's what we were supposed to have in Kemba last year. Buy Kemba. Buy. You know what I mean? They dumped Kemba's salary. He's in Detroit. They're going to buy him out in Detroit. Now we have the possibility of adding Jalen Brunson. His dad is on the staff. Leon Rose used to be his agent. All the stars are lining up. And mind you, the cap space that they got $13 million for, it might not just be for Brunson. We all know Fournier gotta get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Fournier gotta leave. This cannot work with Fournier no more. He got to leave. Okay? It can't work. It can't work. We need defenders. You understand what I mean? So Grimes could do whatever Fournier. This is Grimes' year too. He could do whatever Fournier was gonna do and get yourself a Bradley Beal to complement maybe Jalen Brunson. It's possible. All the other teams with cap space, you know who they are? Orlando, San Antonio, Indiana, Sacramento, and in New York. If we could facilitate some moves to clear up a little bit more cap space. So I am actually, I'm not going to say that I like the move or I hate the move. I'm going to say I'm watching. I'm watching to see what happens. That's where I stand on it. You know what I mean? That's where I stand on that particular situation, guys.
I'm just in a very, what has me in an even bad state right now is the fact that we're talking about Jalen Brunson or bust. Because they're dangling Jalen Brunson.
I know you want a superstar. The superstar, listen, the superstar stuff. Look at what team just won. You gotta get a nice team, a nice mixture.
Yeah,
of
but the
chemistry.
thing is,
guys who know how to win.
Saif, I was in disgust looking at the fact I'm watching the draft. They're talking about the Knicks and they start putting Jalen Brunson highlights up as if this was our draft pick. Like the Knicks right now are just all in on this guy. Right
We're all
now.
in on that guy.
Like there's so much hype that just puts so much hype and pressure on Jalen Brunson.
I think he's
and
built
that
for
creates a situation.
Like I said, he's a two-time champion. He just went to the conference finals.
I mean, look, he's a good player. I'm not going to hate on Jalen. He's
Good
not
young
going to hate on
player.
Jalen Brunson. I mean, even though, I mean, listen, he averaged 20 in the playoffs. He averaged, which is
Against
great.
who? Didn't they beat Phoenix?
No, he
They
averaged
beat Phoenix, right?
20 in the playoffs, which is great.
They beat Phoenix,
Him
right?
winning a championship in college, okay, cool. But I mean
True.
that's not going to have me hype thinking that he's going to get us in the 7th seed or anything like that. But even still, I think
we was
he's
in the
going
4th seed with Alfred Payton.
Listen, that was a whole nother time. that was a whole nother time. The arena looked very different.
It was empty. And Julius was playing like Larry Bird. But anyway.
So that's a whole nother time right there. But I'm saying, like, it's just for this guy that it's gonna improve the team, but it's not somebody that's gonna shoot us to the moon right there. So it's just a lot, man. It's a lot banking on somebody that's just he's cool, he's good. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And if it's and if you don't get Brunson, everything's basically considered a bust. But the thing is, I felt like the moves we made, you have to do these things anyway.
Yes.
You have to accumulate and stockpile your picks.
Yeah.
You have to clear up cap space so you're flexible in free agency.
Yes.
So you're flexible in the trade market anyway.
Yes.
I hate the fact that we're in a situation that if we don't get Jalen Brunson, it's just another thing to say LOL Knicks.
Yes, and it will be a catastrophe in Knick Nation. Not by the fans, because most of the fans feel like you. He's all right.
No, I don't. Oh yeah,
He's all right.
yeah.
They're like, yo, who cares, Jalen Brunson? But because we did all of this, essentially,
And they're selling it that it's for Jalen
that it's
Brunson.
for this.
If it doesn't happen,
it'll be catastrophic.
the front office is going to be on fire.
And
There's going to be picket signs.
You should fire
outside.
Leon Rose. Now I'll start the movement. I'll come back on the show, even if I'll come back on the show and say fire Leon Rose, man. We're a little bit over time. I don't want it to get cut off.
But that's the only place I'll defer from you. I don't think that it's a bust if you don't get Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Because I don't think they did anything that they weren't supposed to do in the first place. What they did, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do.
As a competent front office.
Yeah.
I agree.
You should be doing these things. Now, if you
I
don't
agree.
get Jalen Brunson, we are in a terrible situation because that's just how we were structured. The front office, they're stuck playing cleanup from the last
Years
deal.
and years. Yeah, exactly. That the Fournier stuff that they did last year, y'all got to clean that up.
And
Y'all
that's
gotta
another
clean that
thing. Somebody has to want to take Fournier. How are we going to
Yo,
get
man,
this guy
people,
out of
for
here?
some strange reason, a lot of people, like, I hear the Lakers want him, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And you know Rudy Gobert, that's his boy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I'm kind of scared
People are
because
saying Mitchell too. Donovan Mitchell, that could be a piece to get him. I don't know.
I'm kind of scared because I'm just hoping that we don't have to let go, that they don't end up letting go of more picks just to now get Evan Fournier off.
Oh no. I hope not too. Guys, you tell us how you felt about the draft. Is it Jalen Brunson or bust? Do you feel like Roy? I actually agree with Roy. I don't think it's a bust. I think we can make other little moves. I think this is what you're supposed to do as a competent front office. Guys, we have so many lottery picks on the team from Obi, RJ. We had Knox. Now we have, what's his guy name? Cam Reddish. How many lottery picks you want? You know what I mean? How many lottery picks you want? There's more. I'm sure I'm missing some. Oh yeah, Deuce McBride. Oh no, these aren't lottery picks. How many young guys do you want? You got Mitch. They're young guys. You know what I mean? They're second. We have second rounders. We have lottery picks. Don't worry about it. We don't need it like that. You
I want all the young guys. I want young players. And if that makes our team trash, cool. Be trash and find a better one in the
Thunder. You want to be the Thunder?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll take being the Thunder.
Roy wants to be the Thunder.
I'm cool with being that. Be trash and get a stud in the draft who's gonna come in the NBA.
There was no stud in this draft. There was Ivy, but they tried. They really tried.
They did. But hey, be trash. Pick up a stud in the draft when we get a lottery pick. If we can get a top 5 or whatever, and let's go. Somebody that's ready to play right now.
Right now, plug and play. Guys, we don't got no more time. We went over time. It's your boy Mizzle. Don't forget to follow us on all the platforms. Shout out to Rem. Shout out to everybody. It's your boy Mizzle.
And I'm Royale.
And we out of here, man. We'll be all right.